Okay. What's going on, everybody? It's Ron Brown, LMT, the People's Fitness Professional. Co-host is in here, so we're gonna make it like, my co-hosts are here already, right here. Clip and Cool Ass Trav. I like that new look, Trav. That background and all that. That's looking good right there. That's looking tight. That's looking tight. Clip, you gotta see Goose Wayne on YouTube. I don't know if you know who that is.
No,
But
sure that is.
But I'm gonna send you something. Peace have been. I'm gonna send you something with the guy Goose Wayne, because Goose Wayne, he goes, let me look at your ceiling to check your financial status. And then he says, let me see your fan. And then he looks at your fan and he goes, oh, you're doing well for yourself. Yo, he checks the fan. So now I'm like looking at my spot, and I'm like, oh shit, the ceilings are good, the lighting is good, but I need a new ceiling fan, man. Your ceiling fan is tight.
I'm not gonna let nobody on the internet dictate what I do in my life. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but you can try to criticize me all you want. I'm the type of dude, you say that to my face, I smack fire out of you, but that's neither here nor there.
Yo, but the dude Goose Wayne, if you smack him, he's not gonna hit you back anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So it's like, who you talking to? Like we don't come from those environments, bro. Like, we come from the slums. So like, who you to dictate what people what people got going on for themselves? You don't know what people got going on in their lives. You don't know what struggles they gotta go through. So who are you to be trying to talk down on people? Like, smack fire out.
But you know what though? The Goose Wayne is a good guy, man. Don't bang on Goose Wayne though.
I won't bang
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna send you something with the guy. He's a funny dude. He gave me a great idea to reach the youth and all of that. You know, yeah. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this thing he does, but I'm gonna ask young kids about Black history and see if they can answer the questions about Black history. I'm gonna post it. Y'all gonna see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. How far back are you gonna go when you ask them about Black history? Because they only really know 28 days worth of it, 29 depending on the leap year.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start off with the civil rights movement, because I figured that everybody knows that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Shawnee, what up? What up, my guy?
Yo, clip. What up, guy? Trev, what up, guy? Ron, what up, guy?
What up? Yo, so today we're talking about Big Meech,
right?
Just released from prison.
Oh, Akbar too. Let's not forget Akbar from Jersey. It was one of the I forgot. I know his name was Akbar. I just saw a clip of him coming out of jail, and the way he was like being surrounded and protected just coming out is crazy.
King Tut came home too.
Yeah, a lot of dudes come home.
But
yeah, so
but
my
I just want to address what albums came out, because I want to get that out the way, so we ain't got to worry about that.
I wanted to do that at the 30-minute mark. Once we talk about Meech and the Harlem Bakery closing, then I want to go. Then Clip, you go into new albums and all of that. Shawnee go into sports.
Bakery closed.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Big Meech released from prison. Let's talk about it. What y'all think about it?
I think people are going to just First of all, let me be honest with you. I was a big fan of the whole BMF thing when I first seen them on the scene. You know, I didn't know who he was when I first saw him on Smack DVD, getting the key to the city from the mayor of Miami. Right? I love what he did, to be honest with you, as far as, I guess, making that money coming from nothing, just putting that whole thing together. Because when you think about it, that takes a lot of skill. That's marketing, that's distribution, that's sales, that's all the above as far as entrepreneurship goes, right? the downfall on that, you just, you hurt your people in the community for some money. Got it. I feel like this. People who are really saying like, yo, like LeBron, welcome home, who are talking about him coming home, it's like, y'all probably was like 5 when he went in. So you don't really know the gist of BMF and like the culture of that and what when you saw them. Now I never went to none of the parties, none of that, but just hearing about them and just really seeing them around. I remember seeing fucking Blue Da Vinci at the Harlem Day Parade walking through with the big BMF chain. And I'm like, yo, it's amazing how people still think that this man is gonna come home and just like jump back into the streets as if he made the most money to me out of everybody in the black culture. I'm gonna just say that. According to the government, 240 million he was worth. This is what they say. I clip you could.
But wasn't Freeway Ricky Ross making the same amount of money or better?
Well, they say he made $1 million a day, and
it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money, yo.
But this is what the government said. They all this shit is like
they exaggerate a whole bunch too much.
But my thing about the whole Meech thing, like I'm glad to see he's home because I know, but this nigga's like what 60 years old, damn near 60.
50, like 50, 55, 58, around that, between those ages.
What you expect him to come home to do? Like,
I think he's gonna come home to the bag. I think he's gonna make a lot of money. A lot of money.
But
yeah, I do too.
You said what?
A lot of interviews, but he got one story. Like most people that come from jail that have that story, we've heard that story. The only thing he can actually do is just tell the truth and fill in the blanks. Because how many times can you tell the story? We already see it on on Stars with 50 Cent and his production company.
A lot of that story lies on the TV show though, but that's neither here nor there.
Only Meech, all Meech can do is basically tell the whole truth on how it started and fill in what happened. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of money to be made in that truism, though. There's a lot of money to be made, a lot of exposure. I don't believe he lost money neither.
I don't think he lost money. I think because of his status and who he is, he was getting money. They was giving him money in there. And the fact that he put all those people on, like he basically helped people eat outside of the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Welcome home, Big Meech, basically.
I'm not welcoming him home. No disrespect to him, but I mean, like, tired of welcoming home dudes that rip through our community. And then we celebrate them for making money. You ain't like, all right, what did y'all do with all this money? Where's the black banks? Where's the black businesses? Where's anything that came from that outside of y'all glorifying throwing money in the strip club?
I think the record label just to add some things to it. I think the record label they built the BMF record label. It did okay. I'm on
Let me ask you something. Did you buy that?
Not the biggest Blue Da Vinci. No. No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't do that. But I did knock that Blue Da Vinci, that work joint that he had. That work joint was mean. And then it's like, I ain't trying to cut your point though, Clip. Like I totally understand what you're saying. Like I think you standing on a really shiny star that you always stand on this star too. Like the media pushes propaganda, which we all know to be true, and that you shouldn't celebrate false idols. Like I feel that. I honestly feel that point. I think it just gets so misconstrued with black culture, and that's why people opt to celebrate it without even looking at the facts and the outcomes.
Like how many mothers, black mothers and fathers lives was taken away or destroyed from these dudes getting money. I ain't got nothing against them personally because I don't know them personally, but just I get it. You know, a lot of us in our community hustled out of survival, but then that hustle became greed. It was more than just survival. It became a greed where we got to get the most money, but you ain't looking at the lives you damaging and giving a few brothers a few cars and some chains. All you did was shit on. In my mind, all you did was shit on the poor folk.
True.
Yo, you ever
About,
been to Detroit?
yeah, I got a homie in Detroit. Got a few people in
Yo,
Detroit.
Detroit looks so crazy.
It's crazy. Detroit look like
Detroit looks so
look like
crazy.
look like the Bronx in the 70s.
Yo, it does. It's really third world esque. Like it's a. Yo, I was out there. You know, they got the Coney Island out there. You know, that's a thing out there. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
Coney
saying?
Island hot dogs and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Coney Island. It's like they burgers and fries spot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like they burgers and fries spot.
Like
You
how we
know,
got Mama's Fried and all that. That's they
right.
Mama's Fried
That's
and all
that's they thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, out there, I'm with the homies. I'm like, yo, what's up? We ain't here tonight. They like, yo, nah. Like, you know, this is my first time out there. So they not trying to like over, you know, they don't want to send no dead body back to the Bronx and nothing like that. So, you know, they putting me on the things. All right, you know, that's cool. Cause the one that we was at, I think it was on like Rosa Park Ave or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the daytime it's the eatery, and the nighttime it's the party spot. It's like a little split spot, like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I wanted to partake, but the homies want to keep me safe. I said, okay, cool. So, you know, we doing a drive around thing, and I'm seeing half houses and houses burnt out. And I'm seeing the post office is. I ain't never seen a rundown post office. I've been a couple of places in America. I ain't never seen a rundown post office in my life. Yo, Trev, I promise you.
So speaking of that though, right? Let's speak on Detroit for a second because it involves Big Meech, right?
Yes, sir.
We all know Detroit is run. We all know Detroit has parts that's very run down, and we have parts that's upscale in Detroit that they never speak on, right?
True.
We all know that the property value of Detroit is you know, you could get a house damn near for $5,000 out there, right? You got to fix it up with all this drug money that was made. Why y'all ain't invest back into the community to build it up? If it was because it's so cheap, like you could have made a whole Black Wall Street with this supposed 230 M's in your own neighborhood that you came from.
How does
You
that
know,
work legally?
they was getting
Knowing
everything
that
else.
money is
They was getting all these
dirtied
other
up
houses
like that.
I think it would have worked if they did it then, because at that time nobody was paying attention to them. Now, like you said, the poverty rate in Detroit is low, and you could have bought. They definitely could have bought those homes that they burnt down. You know, because you're right. It could have worked, but again, we're talking about people who don't have the mindset. They was only on survival mode. They wasn't on Black Panther time. Like it wasn't Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. It was Big Meech and Terry. How we got to get out of this. It was all survival.
And they dipped to Atlanta and got this
But-
money in Atlanta, and then when they started getting all this big money, y'all was throwing 100 bands in the strip club. That 100 bands could have went straight instead of some chick shaking her behind. That could have went to the community, to building up your blocks and building up these neighborhoods instead of complaining about how it was a struggle, it was hard out here. But you making it even harder for the youth, the kids that's coming up, because you ain't putting nothing back in this community.
I want to ask you guys a question. So, being that Big Meech is home, and you know LeBron is saying "Welcome home, Big Meech," and he didn't even know Big Meech. Just like Trevor said, he was probably like 5 years old.
Nah, LeBron was in the NBA when Meech got locked up. So I can't say he didn't know him because Meech got locked in 2008. Braun came in the NBA in 2003. So he was about 20 something years old and knowing Braun,
you probably would have knew him.
Yeah,
probably
Braun
he
probably
probably
went to some of them parties and he probably met Meech, a couple of times. I'm not gonna say
a couple of times,
once or twice,
once or twice. So my thing, what I'm trying to figure out, and I'm gonna say is, I see it prevalent in the Black American community, if you want to say that way, or African American community. You know, it's always free son or free my man, or the drug dealer is always glorified. Jail is a badge of honor. Hustling in the streets is like a rites of passage in the community. Where did this come from? And you know, how do you feel about that?
It came
Well,
from us.
Superfly.
Superfly. I can't say Superfly started
Okay,
it, but I get
yo,
what you're
no,
saying.
no,
I
no,
get
no,
what
no.
you're saying.
I don't mean it
I get
like
what you're
that, but you
saying.
know
I
what
get
I
what
mean.
I get
It's
what you're saying
yeah,
though.
the
I get.
overglorification of the 70s rendition of us, like, you know what I'm saying, and the drowning out of the positive movement, the Panthers and so on and so forth, the drowning out of that, the starch contrast between what people thought they needed to do to survive, and then which part was actually more profitable for the people who was in control of America. And it wasn't the people who dress like you are right now, Ron. You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
wasn't them. It was like Clip was a little gag, Clip, because you was alluding to the point. Finish it off, baby.
Yeah, the glorification of the black criminal came about in the 70s. It was started to
Mhm.
be once it was put on the big screen. So Superfly does have a. When you said Superfly, I knew exactly what you meant by that.
Right,
The
right.
glorification of the black criminal hit big screens in the 70s. Young kids wanted to be that. The Panthers time was like, nah, I want to be homie riding in the car with the fine girls and the ice on and this and that. And then that magnified with the dope with the heroin dealers, because that's all Superfly was showing you who heroin dealers were in New York,
Mhm.
Harlem, New York, if you really want to get technical, right?
Mhm.
right.
And then with the Nicky Bonds and the Frank Matthews and the Frank Lucases and all of them, that's what the 80s kids, the kids in the 70s saw those dudes, and then those dudes got locked up, and then the cocaine rush came in, and the cocaine rush is the Meech era and all of them. They glorified it by being everywhere, flashy and showing it off. So this whole thing that was we started celebrating having money. We got money. We got money. We got money. We got money. So that was the
Mhm.
main focus. So we got cars. We got this. We got the girls. That was what the black youth, especially in our culture, the black youth gravitated towards. On top of that, when you got hip hop meets the streets, that also magnified that culture.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Point in
And it,
time,
and it just pushes it.
it just
Yup. And
kept
it
pushing,
just
kept
keep
pushing.
on pushing it. It's like your man said, we gotta get the ledger. Like, right, we gotta get the ledger. We taking trips in the back of the caddy with the cell with the car phone to Tiffany's.
Mhm.
Hell up in
Black,
Harlem. You know what I'm
the
saying?
hell up in Harlem. Yeah,
This is
exactly.
yeah. This is what we doing. We taking trips in the back of the Cadillac with the car phone
Mhm.
going to Tiffany's, right?
But
At the
while going to
same
Tiffany's,
token,
but you still raping your wife. Like, like,
right.
like the mindset is crazy when you really look at these films and look at these things that were projected amongst us that we gravitated to because it was the money, it was the wealth. We was coming from poverty because we never really had anything, and then when we tried to build stuff, that stuff kept getting destroyed by the powers that be. They
Mhm.
kept destroying our individual wealth that we were creating without committing crimes.
See,
So
now I want
they left us with this mentality of, in order for me to get it, I got to do something illegal.
now I want to add to that too, because I know I watched Superfly and I didn't really understand it at first, like when I first saw it as a kid. Because the first scene is the Cadillac driving through Park Avenue on the east side, right? But in the end, when he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to change," basically, I'm trying to change. I'm trying to do something different. I'm tired of this. They don't never really focus on that because even I just watched what's the damn Kevin Hart joint?
Fight night.
Yeah, and even in that, like it becomes a point, and well, then it became a point in every hustler's life. Like this is not the way to go. Okay, I'm fine. I got money. I'm at my point. I gotta get out. I gotta make a difference. They never really highlight that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's normally like when those movies happen, it's always I did it, I'm doing it my way. Now I want to do something else. Meech was somewhat there towards the end when he wanted to do the record label, and he kept saying, "Well, instead of me putting spreading 500,000 between five artists, I'm gonna just put 500 on one artist." He always wanted. He said he wanted to go legit, but it's just like that one that one last move that everybody want to make that's going to take them over the top to be legit. It never happens, and it never really get commercialized or idolized in these movies because that's
I
always
think
does.
I,
Well,
I think on your point, right? Like just to capitalize and piggyback off that, right? Because that's an excellent point. But I think there's a reason that they set the bar so high in Superfly, and then there's a reason why he said he wanted to retire. So the bar is the M, right? Because that's what he talked about the whole time. He want the M. Now we talking about in the 70s, the M is far. Like the M ain't like today. The M is super duper far away, right? So now they got you on the trail to get the M. And then they got you thinking there's a fairy tale ending at the end. They got you thinking that, right? Oh, yeah, you could do this and retire. But the fact of the matter is you can't, right? Because chances is good you're going to end up going to jail. You're going to end up getting killed, right? And then the thing with Meech, even if you say you want to go legit, you done touch so many people's lives that when they're not ready to go legit, you can't go. You tied into these people. So you can't say, oh, all right, I'm out. But you got people in 5 or 6 or 7 different states, depending on your decisions. The I'm out decision is not the one they trying to hear.
right.
But
So I
the thing,
think
like,
once
I
you,
hear you. I hear you on that.
yeah, once you get a little too far in.
Yeah, because I feel like once you're in and you're in knee deep the way they was in, either you can't just tell everybody you out. You just gotta be out. Like you gotta just leave, be a ghost.
Right.
You gotta just break. You can't wait and explain to people why you out. You just gotta go missing. Like,
right.
because that's what Frank Matthews did when he was out. He was gone.
Also,
Nobody find him. I'm out of here, yo.
now
That's that's a special man right there. That's a
the
special
government couldn't
man
find
right
him. I'm
there.
out of here. What are we talking about?
no, but let me say that too,
Yo!
though.
I got a beautiful theory about that time. Go ahead. I'll trap my fault.
Who else did that? This dude from the Supreme Team, Corey Pagese. He's a cop now. Well, he's a retired cop. He was another one who said the same shit you said, Clip. Pardon my language. He said when he left, he didn't tell nobody. He just went into the army and just changed his. Because he said when you tell people, like you said, Shawnee, so many people are depending on you. Like you, if you the breadwinner of your family, you're the one that they depending on. So if you say you out, they're gonna look at you like you can't leave because what am I going to do? And he was one of the few, well, out of Frank Matthews, he's the second one I know who literally said, I'm out, woke up one day, went to and drafted in the army, came back home, an army vet, then went into the police academy, became all the way to like high-ranking police officer and retired. And that was his like that was his M at the point that
That's special.
Yeah.
That's special, yo. That's very rare. That's special.
He from Queens.
You gotta get out. Like I'm not like I said, I'm not mad at Meech for coming home. I'm not mad at what he had to do to survive. I'm not mad at that. I'm disappointed in the glorification of just saying, yo, we getting money. All right, y'all, you and your crew getting money. Cool, that's fine. Y'all getting money. But that money ain't go back into what could have been bigger. That's why I don't celebrate people like Poe, Rich, and A, and I don't really glorify these dudes. I ain't taking them away from them. Y'all had your time. Y'all want to keep reliving, telling stories about 50 years ago. Cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, what did we get out of that? What did we as a community get out? We got a story and a bunch of jail tales.
And you know what? I think I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that now it is a part of African American cultures, like the fabric of African American culture. Street culture is a part of the fabric now. So like I notice like when people have conversations, I listen, I sit back, I just do the knowledge, and people feel like they really need to have a street story in order for them to feel confident and secure within themselves. They have to say something that they did in the street.
And it's corny because we all come from the streets. All of us have street experiences. We all have something that comes from that environment. But is that something that we want our kids to really represent or see or be a part of? Like,
No.
nah, I don't want that. I don't even want I don't even play rap music around my son. Let me keep it a buck, right? I don't really play that in front of him. Not because I don't want him to hear it. It's just, yo, dog, like enough is enough. Like, when are we tired of these situations? Are we tired of like having to see these young boys out here wilding because they in poverty? Because if they lived in the suburbs, they wouldn't be wilding like that. Not saying that they wouldn't be knuckleheads, because they're gonna be knuckleheads
Right.
as men.
Growing
right?
up is growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. But it get to a point where it's like, yo, we just glorify gangs, we glorify killing, we glorify unprotected sex, we glorify downgrading our women. Everybody got ops. It's like, enough is enough, yo. Like, I'm tired
But pause is a big thing though. That's
pause
we'll pause everything,
Pause
but we're not gonna pause that other shit though.
Yeah, pause is a game, right? So it's a joking game, and I get it. It's funny. We laugh, and I laugh with it. I laugh, and I take part of it as well. So I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to sit there and say, and I'm not going to act like I'm above any of these brothers. Meech, you, anybody in this room. I'm not better than nobody in here or on this planet, right? I'm just a regular guy. But I remember a time of coming up where we were celebrating Black excellence, right? Like, we celebrated our Black so-called leaders or our Black people that was doing something positive. And I don't know where that shift happened, where we just switched off of celebrating Black excellence and celebrating Black streets. Like, I just don't.
Yo, anybody familiar with Lou Ratchet?
Yeah.
You familiar with Lou Ratchet?
A little bit.
He does skits, right? To me, I find him informative. He did a skit about slaves running away and making decisions on. Now check this out, right? Because at first it's funny, but when you really think about it, who's going to stay, who's going to leave, and kind of like why? And I think that him bringing up that division from that far back, right, kind of has a lot to do with where people get their credibility from, who they get their acceptance from, where they think it's cool to climb at in America, or what they're leaving, what a sense of what they're leaving, and a sense of what's to be left behind, and a sense of what's not to be traveled into. It kind of goes a little bit further back than we think, right? Like, it just does, because you have people who made decisions and said, yo, I'm out. Like, I'm gonna put my life on the line. I'm out. And you got people who said, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna sit right here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell on you. How about them apples? I ain't even going to just let you do what you said you want to do. It don't even involve me at that. Well, it kind of do, but it don't really involve me at that point, right? But I'm going to tell on you, like, right? Because I'm seeking a certain type of favor. I'm seeking a certain type of freedom. And the freedom you're seeking goes directly against the freedom that I'm beginning to believe in. So there's divisions that kind of start there, right? It's like I've been up top, right? How you saying it? Following the culture, doing things that I felt was necessary, right? Okay, I'm not one to say that I'm not a victim of every trap that's been laid. I've fallen for a lot of them. But the thing is this, when you get in certain places and you meet what you would consider a Black CEO, he'll look at you and tell you, I'm French Canadian. I don't know what you talking about. We don't share same struggles. And them same white dudes that would treat you nasty don't see him the same. They don't look at him the way they look at you. And there go cultural differences that come from way back, and decisions that come from way back. Who decided to bust him over, who didn't? Perhaps in that situation, perhaps in that situation,
that definitely plays a part. I would not disagree with that. That definitely, those decisions that our ancestors made created the division.
Right, for better or for worse, not to blame.
Yeah. No.
Not to blame. Yeah.
going back. You going way back. You going.
Yeah,
But
let me
that's a
say,
but that mindset does make a lot of sense because those who you got to understand, like for what he's saying, for those slaves that decided to break out and seek their freedom, and let's say they reached their freedom, the slaves that stayed probably felt some sort of animosity
because they
towards
didn't.
they didn't get a chance to make it, or they didn't make the decision to go
Yeah,
with,
Right.
right? And who knows what they told their kids or their family about those slaves that left.
Oh, hold on. Time out. Time out. So, are
Yeah.
you saying the brothers and sisters who stayed and produced more children, produced children through generation, these motherfuckers is weak?
I'm not saying they weak. I'm not saying
No,
that. I
not
can't
weak. It's
Oh,
just
because we
it's
don't.
just
It's
go ahead,
perspective,
Clip. I'm sorry.
right? I like
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not going to say that they're weak. It's a perspective because some people didn't want to risk their lives and lose their family, right? Some people were like, yo, I'll just die. Like, I just don't care. I'm out. I can't do this no more. And we can't judge either or, but we got to understand that that was a division that was created out of survival.
right.
You
It's
get what
all
I'm saying?
the black culture. The black people, their culture, our culture is basically raised off survival. Because if you go as far back as slavery, you know what I'm saying? That's when the survival tactics came into play. Now you talking about the slaves that left and the slave that made the decision to stay because for what they was too scared. Then you gotta think about the female slaves who made the decision to have a baby. They was most likely raped and thrown overboard for sharks to eat because they didn't want those children to grow up enslaved in slavery. That's
well,
a
you, now
aspect.
that's a good topic to kind of like really ponder on and think about because that's kind of deep. However, with slavery and the psychology behind the trauma that those people went through, it goes into more division than what you're stating right now.
Right.
You're just saying people who stayed and people who left. Then there's in betweens that we didn't really think about. So that can split in so many different directions. So that with that thought alone, that's one part of division. So then now when we're out of slavery, so to speak, and we're dealing with redlining, et cetera, and being lynched, and that's another psychology that's split and things like that. And then as we go through the years and we go through more trauma and pain, there's more division and splits in the psyche. But then to fast forward, we went through an epidemic called the crack era,
Mhm.
and that era really hurt us bad. And it's a contributor to a lot of what's going on to this day.
Yes.
So, and I'm gonna say I don't want to put my whole life out there, or whatever like that. But even in my own family, what I'm saying, like the '80s was popping. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure people on this panel, everybody, I would say, the '80s was popping, '90s was popping.
No,
Yes.
but I want to ask this though. Like, so how on like a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say the difference between the heroin era and the crack era?
I love this
Like,
conversation.
because at the end of the day, right? Like the crack era is dying out, like right, but like that heroin thing is still kicking strong, and that's sort of like cocaine is the monster. Cocaine is the thing that really like that's the kicker, right? Cocaine is the kicker because cocaine is the drink that been here, rich man drugs, so on and so forth. When it wasn't so negatively stigmatized, right? So cocaine is the kicker. The heroin joint was horrible though.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
That was
To me,
horrible, right?
that was
How
the
bad?
slave era.
Yeah, because and then it's like, okay, the prohibition era, the alcoholism, and I wasn't alive for that, right? But I've seen people get drunk silly before. You know what I mean? I could deal with that. the heroin thing was still leaking over into my time period, but that's still way before my time period, right? The crack thing I was alive for to see and participate in and pay for participating in, right? But I can see that kind of like dwindling down bit
Wait,
by
hold on,
bit.
Shawty. We gotta explain that part, right?
I
Because
shouldn't have to, because like
the
I'm
internet,
on
bro.
one side of the culture, like that shouldn't even, as we having this conversation, the fact that I speak from the super fly perspective should like lay that out, like, you know what I'm saying? I
Not on
speak
the
from
internet.
that perspective,
All right.
like
So,
that's
so
the
I'm gonna
perspective I'm
say
speaking from. That should be
gonna
laid
help you
out.
out. So I'm gonna help you out. So you were on one part of one side of the culture.
Both. He was on
No,
both.
I'm talking about as far as the streets is concerned.
Both.
No, I'm talking about as far as like getting this money is concerned. I'm on one side of that.
Boom. All right, cool. Now we got it. That's clear.
You know what I'm saying?
Got the
Yeah,
money.
yeah. That should have been.
I
That
think
shouldn't
we all,
even ever
well,
be
a
a
lot of us
question.
partake in
Like
the
that should have
street.
just been extra clear from Jump Street.
All
You know
right,
what I'm
I don't work
saying?
like that on the
But
internet.
I get what you're saying, but the reason why, all right, the heroin era was the worst as far as the type of drug, right? Because we know that shit was like growing up in Harlem. We seen the needles in the arms and the people in the vacant buildings. We seen this like live and uncut. The crack era was so crazy because it was a cheap drug.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made it crazy. That drug was designed to be cheap and affordable and a super fast high.
No, I think, but you're
That's
right.
why that's why I ran rampant in the hood, because $3 vials, $5 vials, $10 vials. You couldn't just get it. You just couldn't get a gram of coke everywhere. You had to pay $100 for that.
True.
Like you
So how much? So how much was like bundles going for like in the 70s then?
see bundles of heroin. The thing with heroin is you could step on heroin like 4 or 5 times and still make your bread. So they could buy one brick and stretch it to like 5.
Yeah, but remember, they was getting, this was before everybody had their hands on the good stuff. So even, and you gotta look at it, that time when dudes was getting heroin, they was sharing. So it was like, all right, cool. I get this many bricks. I'm taking this over here. I'm doing this. And you're right. You can't just get no ounces here and there just to sniff, because there was a party drug. Cocaine was the party drug. Now, once they mixed it and turned it into crack, and that high was so instant, you had to go back and get it, and it messed your mind up because it was so instant. They didn't think about it. They didn't know how instant it was going to be. That shit is like, I want to say, as fast as making oatmeal. You know what I mean? You getting high that quick till you gotta go back. And like you said, once they started making the 3s, the 5s, the 10s, it's so affordable. All right, cool. But then it fucked up the community because chicks started selling their body, started selling their kids, leaving their kids. Like, it was the snowball effect from crack was wicked.
It was wicked. It was wicked. Like the heroin era.
Oh.
The heroin era was crazy though. Like we saw the remnants. Like we saw the late remnants of it when that era was dying and when the new era was coming in.
I don't think the heroin era ever went away though.
That was my point. That was my
went
point.
away.
It's not as big as it was, but it's still lurking around.
It was still there. Like the drug was still around, but the dealers weren't. That wasn't a big thing. Like everybody wasn't selling heroin, because that heroin time was way different by the time it got to the 80s. Because remember when crack first came in the 80s, police and the government didn't know what it was.
Right.
So they was catching people with rocks on them and was like, "What is this?" and threw it away. They didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while for them to figure out, oh, these little rocks right here got everybody going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You could just see it. Yeah, we saw everybody with the dope fame back in the day. We still see it to this day, but it's only a specific type of dealers that still deal that. That's not
You mean dope right now? Like, all right, you remember that song, The Locks? All my is a die over dope money. Nine is hit the Rico law. We're gonna run it high in this. Don't fuck around with my ride or die. Remember that joint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that joint? Dope money, the crack money over dope
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
That that
Dope
that
money.
that joint.
You make way more money in dope money. But the problem is that dope money will get you so much time, right? It's like dope money will get you so much time, way more than crack. Crack was just everybody had it. All the young cats had it to sell. Everybody wasn't a heroin dealer in the 70s.
Right.
Damn near every young nigga was a crack dealer in the 80s, B. You like
In the
everybody.
90s. The
And
90s.
then, yo, not for nothing, like you said, that whole baby for sale thing, that
It
was
was crazy.
wild.
It was wild. Don't think about this
That
as
was
kids, we would
wild.
walk down the street and see vials on the floor just like Skittles.
Right.
They was
Or
just
you,
there.
or you had friends that was chain to radiators, this thing, like them things like that. Nah. Because when you
Yeah.
think about it, that part, I think the desperation part that it kicked up. Cause it just made zombies. I think that was the part that nobody was used to. Like something being in somebody's veins might lean them over, but something being in somebody's lungs had them looking for more, had them scaling walls. People was turning into
Robbing people out
Spider-Man
of
and
nowhere.
all
Yeah,
of
turn
that,
to the
yo.
Walking Dead outside, B. It was
Word up,
looking
that's a
Yo,
fact.
I got
You're
a
right.
quick
That was
story.
nasty.
I
That
got
was
a quick
nasty.
story. I saw a woman. I was like 7, 8 years old. I went into the next building, building 64. My god brother Ken. We get on the elevator. This dude did not give a damn. He saw these two little kids in this elevator. He robbed the lady right in front of us, bro. Took everything, her earrings. He was just out of
He
it.
was mad. He
He was like, I
was
gotta get that
mad.
shit.
bro.
He's
They
like,
used to
yo,
make
give me
bro,
all of that. He took all his stuff. Like we was like, oh,
bro.
ran up out of there.
Bro, they used to be wilding on 2 Fifth right next to KB Con back in the day. Bro,
Oh wow, damn, you took it back.
that block used to make $1 million a week, fam, off of crack. They was going crazy. That and her 16th, oh my God.
Oh yeah,
Her
yeah,
16th might have been making like 2,
yeah,
3 M's a week. The way they was going crazy out there.
yeah.
Like, I've seen it all. Uptown, we see the Bronx too.
Right.
Seen it
All
all.
oh,
Like New York City in general, in that 80s, 90s era, yo, bro, at 4 years old, I knew what heroin was. I knew what a needle was. I didn't like needles. I didn't like going to the doctor because I thought they was injecting me with this shit. These things I'm seeing on the street.
That's
yo,
crazy,
it was
yo.
too. It was wild visible back in the days. Like
Yeah, it was
so we
like
saw that shit.
Word
Like
it was
up.
literally in our
Straight
face.
base houses, the base
Yeah,
house. The base house.
yo, but now,
literally.
I mean, like we're basically having like PS. What do they call it?
Yeah,
PTSD moments
PTSD, bro.
right
Think about
now. Yo,
that.
Hey,
yo,
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 that's
yo,
crazy,
but
yo.
like, so where do we go now? Because now the culture's flipped to glorify guys like, and no disrespect to, well, we don't even got to say that because we're not being disrespectful or nothing like
Well,
that. But like people like Big Meech is like glorified. He's like a superhero. He
You
went
see,
to
because
jail.
it's
He
like
never
a myth.
told.
Because it's like a
people,
myth for
yeah,
those who didn't see it.
right. And then I think
Right?
for the people who did see it was like, this is really happening. This guy is really making money like this. And it reminded them of back when you saw people riding with the Cadillac, just like in Superfly, and you saw the clothes. But at that point, it was more or less cars and jewelry. And it's the same thing from the 70s to the 80s to the 2000s: cars, women, jewelry, money, party. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but that cash can't take you but so see here's the other kicker about that, right? Because I'm pretty sure somebody tried and somebody got stomped down, right? Because like, yeah, it's easy to say you could have bought this land, you could, but it's
As
not. It's not
it,
that easy. Like
but
once you start putting yourself on certain, you call yourself trying to stay low. It don't make a difference how hot you is. You like you have this ideology of staying low, right?
They wasn't
And
staying
you
low at all.
nah, obviously, because once you start putting your joint up on billboards, and it's a
Yeah,
different
like what
world.
we
You know what I'm
doing?
saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different once you start doing that, right? But you still might think nobody will see that. But you know for a fact, if you start buying up land and you start buying houses, somebody gonna see that. And then
But
that's when the questions is I think I wouldn't call it the ignorance of going legal, but the fear of being found out. I think that's what stop a lot of people also from saying, "Yo, well, let me cop this. Let me make this
I
relationship with this kind of." You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but with the way that with the way they had so many hands around them, and it's like, yo, y'all know a bunch of legal people because y'all buying mansions. You can't just buy it. Like, y'all know somebody legal that's getting
Yeah,
money because
yeah,
y'all buying mansions,
yeah.
right? So if you're able to buy mansions, you could buy this little parking lot over here.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, well, when you put it like that, yeah,
That's a
there
good
ain't
point,
no
Rick.
argument
Good
there.
point.
Yeah, ain't no argument there. You could
Right? You
buy a
get what I'm
man,
saying?
you could buy a parking lot.
You could
And then
buy a little parking lot.
they
You could do
got
you could do a marathon clothing. You could
right.
do
Nah,
that,
that's a
like
fact.
in a
That's a
small hood.
fact.
Like you could do a few of them in different hoods. It ain't got to be in the same hood, but you could do a bunch of those in different neighborhoods. Okay, cool. Then you take that money, put it together with something else where it was like, oh, you can have different owners too. Like, okay, that this marathon store is in Baltimore, this marathon store is in Harlem, this one here is in LA, and this one here is in Atlanta. You take the income of that money, okay, cool. We got this. Now we gonna build this, and this here with legal names.
Now I'm gonna ask you. Now I want to say this right. Now you said parking lot, right? Now,
Yeah,
now as you notice, I don't want to. I guess I'm gonna just speak straight up. Yo, migrants, whatever foreigners, they come out here, they make their money, they set up shop, they end up blowing up 5, 10 years from now, take over a whole block, didn't sell not one drug. Now, I want
U-
to ask you, being that we,
unity,
huh?
unity.
Now,
They
right. That's now. Now. That's one point. I'm saying this now, being that so-called black people, they come into money all the time, millions of dollars, whether it's legal or illegal. However, they don't use the money in the community to make impact on the community at large. Now, unlike Mexicans or other nations of people who come here. Now, is it because we have our own mental dysfunction?
yes. You got to
listen.
remember.
I want to say this. I want to say this. We have our own agenda when it comes to money. You know the line, there's no honor amongst thieves. Everybody has their number, right? I always say this. You see people get a certain amount or start getting certain amount of money, and then what they start doing, they start polarizing it. Look at me, look at me. I'm getting to the bag, I'm getting to the bag. Fuck y'all, it's all about the bag, it's all about the bag. That's what it is. It's we may start out with the notion of yo, I'm going to help my people, I'm going to change this, but then we a lot of them become sucked in the culture and the lifestyle from what the money brings. You know what I'm saying? It's all about when they get to a certain point where it's like I don't have to worry about money no more. I forget about my main idea, which was to really help and give back. That's why
Mm.
we see the bodegas, the corner stores, they all owned by the Mid Easterns. You know what I'm saying? I was just had a conversation the other day. Matter of fact, Sunday, I was at work. I'm like, yo, how do y'all buy stores? And he said it's simple. He said, yo, we literally start from the bottom and then you pass it on. One store, you pass it on to my cousin. That cousin brings in another cousin, and it's a domino effect. We get money. We will buy jewelry. We buy chains, and then we got the nerve to tell you what we did for you with the material items we bought you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when Paid in Full. He told AZ, "Yo, I ain't eating." And you know what I'm saying? It's so many messages in that movie. even when Calvin came home and he went and he's like, yo, I'll run the block. I'm the man. It got to be I. It's never we. It's always I, and it's the I agenda. And that's what happens. Because back in the days, when I had mentioned the bakery thing, if you saw, if in, let's say the 70s and 80s, right? If something was going on in the neighborhood and you was late on your rent or slow with something, you can go to a dude who's tearing down the community. He was going to help you with your rent. Guy Fisher bought the Apollo. Let's not forget that. There should be no reason any black-owned establishment in Harlem is asking for $50,000 when every rapper has a line in a song that says, I have $100,000 watch on. My outfit costs $10,000. There should be no reason for any of that nowadays. Because it didn't happen in the 70s. It didn't happen in the 80s. Why is it happening now?
Why are you blowing 100 bands in the strip club?
Exactly.
Why are you buying out the bar in the strip club when the bottle costs $40, but you want to spend $1,000 at the club to show off? Like, what are we talking about here?
It's the
I think it's like with most things. So like most things just get watered down as the time goes on. Like the thought and the spirit behind like a lot of things, as time goes on, just gets watered out. Like the meaning behind certain things just gets watered out, and it's just what's left on the surface. So I think that's why the only part that you see repetitively is the bling bling part, and that's why that's the only part you see so repetitively right now, because the rest of it been kind of washed out.
But if you notice, when them old heads used to take care of the neighborhood, even though they was poisoning stuff, when they would take care of the neighborhood to a certain degree, the neighborhood would actually protect them.
Mm-hmm. We don't have
we know you doing dirt, but you pay my mom's rent, fam.
Right.
So
You do.
I really can't hate you.
That's when you start looking at. That's when you start looking at the other way. Like, well, that man made his decision to get high. Like that's on him. That's when you start looking the other way.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is, it was a little bit more respect, because even the street guys back in the day, if you saw the old lady coming in with the older ladies coming in with the shopping carts, hey yo, help her, or they would stop doing what they doing to help her. Make sure she get in that house safe. Make sure she do that if the kids was outside wilding. Yo, get in the house because it's about to go down. So make sure they get in the house now. Like it was
pay for your soul.
Yeah,
right. Pay for your soul. Pay for your soul. Yeah.
It was like, all right, the streets respected the streets, and people that wasn't part of the streets respected each other. Like, nah, they not part of the streets, so we ain't gonna involve them. This is some street stuff that's going on between us, and we don't want these kids involved. So get in the house or go up the block to the park. Get away from here. If we doing what we doing, y'all don't need to be around us.
Exactly.
Now that might be your answer, Ron, about whichever was worse. Because the more and more we talk, the more and more this crack ever is starting to sound really, really bad.
You got to think about it.
More we talk,
using crack too. Some of the dealers fell victim to crack too. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, fell victim to it because of, some dudes who was weak and was like, yo, sure, I got to, trying to just get it. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't going to hurt. It's just one. And then one turned into 101. And then before you know it, you out here
selling TVs.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But again, that was when we had the we agenda. Today is I agenda. Today is the look at me agenda. Today is the 100,000 watch agenda. Like me. And then
I think that all comes from hip hop. You know why I say that? Because hip hop is a very me genre. Hip hop is like, look at me, I got the gold chain on, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that, and I'm better than you, and I'm fucking your bitch, and you ain't shit because you don't got this, and I got this.
But that bravado came from the street though, and that's why when dudes was in the street, they was getting robbed for all that early, because that's what glazing them didn't respect, because that was their lifestyle. That's what they like at that time. Being a gorilla was for real. Like wearing truck jewelry, you had to really be strong. That
Yeah, you couldn't
wasn't
just
for
be outside with
entertainment.
that.
Yeah, you could just be outside with truck. That meant that was badges of honor. You see a man outside, he got them big joints on them big rope joints with the dinner plate. That's a badge of honor right there. Ain't nobody. He daring you basically. I dare you. I know everybody out here hungry, and I have a literal plate on my chest. I dare you.
I
No,
dare
Yeah,
you.
that's I dare you. I got a whole plate on my I dare you. I did. So that's different. So it don't really, that part don't come from hip hop. That's the part that hip hop took from the streets when see, that was when artists were really just telling the stories of what was going on. And then it took like, I think doing dropping mob style was like when people was like, nah, the streets is rapping now. Like the streets is rapping. And it's not just braggadocious and silly rhymes. And so there's a lot of hip hop at that time, like not to be clowning was kind of silly. Like some of the lyrics was kind of silly. But then when A started rapping with that mob style joint was kind of like laying it down. Like, nah, this is the direction the streets is gonna be talking, and we really did it. So you can't tell me no. Oh, I bet.
they was
Right.
doing
Okay.
it
I would say
at the same time.
I would say that if it came from the streets into hip hop perpetuated that way of that mindset.
Well, it did, but
There's
hip
no
hop
argument there. There's no argument there.
originally started from the streets of them trying to find a way, something of our own.
Well, what I'm trying to say, I don't mean to cut you off, Clip. What I'm saying is the me attitude. I got this, you don't got nothing. I'm that nigga. You ain't shit. That comes from the streets, you saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that come from the block.
Okay. So what I'm saying is with that what went into the hip hop culture, and that hip hop culture perpetuated it even more and kind of raised the youth to be that way.
But what happened was the streets, like Shawnee said, the streets became the rapper. Before, the rapper was just telling tales of what was happening in the streets. But when the real street guys started trying to become the entertainers themselves, that's when it got crazy.
That's when it got crazy.
That's when it got crazy, because now I'm gonna make the same. I'm gonna make my street money and this rap money. The greed came. Right? I'm the rapper, but I mean, I'm the street guy. The rappers praise me, but what happens if I'm the rapper now?
Right. And I just cut the middleman out.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That goes back to CB4, the movie CB4, MC Gusto.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, MC Gusto.
Well, what they're talking about is that actual live wires rapping.
No,
like,
but it was like that because mob style was the first to do it, right? Because the parties, let's say
it wasn't the first to do it, but they was the ones that they was the young ones that was doing it.
Yeah,
right.
but Schoolie D, he was doing it too. What's the other guy from
Ice-T was doing it.
Ice-T from Cali, yeah, he was doing it.
Think about it. Ice-T had already transitioned from Ice-T was already transitioning from street to music, because he went from street, he went from hustling to pimping to music to acting.
So and he was still a rolling 60 Crip.
Exactly, but that's just the gang thing in LA. You just literally born with blue blood from the hospital.
Right.
You from the hospital. Or that block. I got blue blood now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
I feel you.
When we saw it, like when we got a whiff of it, Supreme, like that video of Supreme and Prince, and they had Melly Mel at the party. They was bringing in the rappers who was really rapping, who wasn't in the street, like Shawnee said, was telling their story. Mob Style was in the street rapping, getting to it, right? That's when we went into after that, it really became like, oh shit, it's a story to be told. They stopped telling the story because they got locked up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like most of them got locked up. Yeah, most of them got locked up. So they wasn't. So it took the younger rappers was starting to tell their story again, and then it became
Just like money bags.
Then the streets realize, oh, we can extort these rappers.
Now to wrap this piece up, okay. Now where do we go from here when this mentality is now a part of Black American psyche? This whole street culture and this whole having to have a street story to tell to feel secure.
Well,
how do we change that?
Well, we can't change adults. So that's number one.
Right.
We can't change adults. We can't change kids 17 and up. I'll be honest with you. We can't really change them because they already two. Once you about 17, you already like actually 15. Once you're about 15, you already engulfed 100%. Right? Especially in New York. We got to teach the babies that this is corny. That's how you change. You got to teach the babies because the babies are going to dictate what happens in the future. We got to teach them that this is corny. This is going to make you a slave. You might not know what a slave is, but we're going to give you an example of what a slave is. You in your room, you get nothing. You get no water. You get no nothing. You get nothing until we say so. You got to really give it to them. It's harsh like that. You don't get no food. You don't get the shower. You don't get nothing. But you get this toilet. That's about it.
Yo, forget Umar Johnson. Let's get the clip school up. Let's keep it
up. You get no tablet. You get no phone. You get no video game. None of that. No TV. No nothing. This is what you get. You got to show them. You got to show them an example of what a slave is.
Yeah.
Because
that's hard.
Either you're gonna be a slave or you're gonna be dead if you go this way. It's one of the two.
Right.
And if you don't want to be either one of the two, this is cool. Get some money. But get money the legal way so that way these crackers ain't on your back trying to P. Diddy you right now.
Exactly. Yo, but does America's fascination with take by force have anything to do with that though?
It does.
Like because America itself is fascinated with the gangsters like Al Capone and all of these people whose names just live on like that. America's fascinated with the gangster itself. Does that have
it's more of an entertainment in those communities.
But
like
Italians don't like being associated with that shit.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
They don't really like being associated with that type of energy. They know it exists. Yeah, we know we got people in the family and the mob, but we ain't really trying to talk about all that. We ain't really trying to be representatives of all that.
They try to get so much. It's like their main focus outside of John Gotti. Every Italian's main focus is to legitimize my family's name. Literally, this is why they are all in construction. Whether they're going to strong arm you or not, their whole focus is to legitimize
and be off the radar.
Exactly.
That was their whole mission. That's why they hated John Gotti. A lot of them hated John Gotti.
Exactly.
He was doing the hip hop thing, being flashy. Yo, dog.
Exactly.
John Gotti was out there with $3,000 suits on,
going crazy.
He might as well have been.
He was basically home. He was home.
That's a
talking about him out here, throwing it up.
And you know when you think about it, John Gotti was young. So once the young had got authority, he decided, I'm going to do it this way. We're not going to do it.
And it ruined the whole entire mob.
Fuck the whole, exactly. You know what I'm
saying? Now, I want to segue into the Harlem Bakery Closed. I think because we went in on this subject. That was peace right there. Now, yeah. So now the Harlem Bakery Closed.
No. Okay, so this is let me give you the backstory. So I came across this story because I seen the GoFundMe. Somebody put the GoFundMe up for Make My Cake, right? Now Make My Cake had it's a smaller spot now, but they had a location on 116th Street, diagonal from the Carter, right?
I know we make kids.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
So now they got one across the street. What's that? I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's Grant Projects. It's next to the firehouse.
That's Grant.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's right there, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
smaller spot. Now, when I thought about, like, she wants 50,000, she wants to raise 50,000 because I guess the landlords, the rent, and you can't
overhead, all that stuff. Yeah.
Now I look at that, and automatically I said to myself, how is this company going into needing help? And literally 2 weeks prior to me seeing this, Jim Jones did a video at that church and had everybody outside, Maybachs, jewelry, Louis Vuitton, Tim's, everything white. You know what I'm saying? And this lady is over here with a GoFundMe, and you sit here and count 50,000, 20,000. I got the newest, whatever. I got the Richard Mille, 150,000. Give this lady this money, man. Come on now. You can't tell me, you really can't tell me, like, that's the disturbing part about us and getting money. Because it goes back to when we get it, we give it back to them. And they don't care because they know during the pandemic what we did. People got that.
Oh God, people got online to give that money back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they was sick and they got online to get that money back.
Exactly. So you telling me y'all want to do all this black power? We need black businesses. We need this. This lady right here has a black business that y'all can invest in.
They don't eat cake.
Give her
That's
100
why.
and say, listen, take care of whatever you're gonna take care.
Not even a slice.
Partner on this deal, and I'm gonna make sure all this gets done while you take care of the front, the bacon, the goods, and all that.
She ain't selling no expensive clothes for them to wear, so they ain't gonna care.
I know, and that's the problem we got.
Said it ain't nothing in it for them. Wow.
Right, and that's the problem we have today, because it all ties into the whole big Meech. You get money. First, you want to start off because you need to survive. And then once you reach your mark and realize this is how you're going to live, you forget about your community behind you and leave it in the
And the reason why the reason why she wanted 50,000, because we got to remember, look at all of the franchise establishments that they put on 125th Street. Exactly. You putting all of these major corporation franchises on 125th Street. She can't pay that rent. Because that's right.
Not to mention they built up that church that's around the corner on the other what's that Morningside around the corner, right?
Yeah, it's Morningside. Yeah.
You know, they got that big church in the two new in the dual address luxury building that's right there too. That got the property value up too.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. This would have never happened if the hustlers from the previous eras would have bought the land.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
You invest in the land, and if you don't gotta put, here's the thing, you don't gotta put it under your name. You invest into a black investment group that buys land.
Exactly.
But a lot of them dudes was kids though, Lord. I think that's the other part.
Yeah,
too.
that's another thing.
They wasn't they wasn't 18. Men, yeah, they was kids, and they had the mentality to run big things, but they had the ambition and the mentality and the smarts to run big things, but just maybe not the guidance to think outside of the box that was presented to them. You know what I'm saying?
So what about today? So you say, I hear what you're saying, Shawnee, and that's true. That was true then. But now we're talking about people who are 45 plus still doing the same.
What they was doing at 17.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like you
I can't answer that.
We watch people take, what's the dude name? Aviani, $100,000 in cash and count it. I will go around the corner to that lady and say, look, here's 150,000. Take the 50, do what you need to do with the bills or whatever, renovate this thing. Let's reconstruct this contract and work this out to get you from point A to point B so we can get more make my cake bakeries, because why not? Where we gonna keep going to Starbucks? The crackheads.
Yo, that's a joint that goes down. You got to go down into it. Is that
Yeah.
Well,
right?
that brings me to creating a black business, so to speak, right? Like the hardest thing about having a black business is that
it's black.
it's not that people won't patronize you or anything like that. It's really about the support that you get from your family, friends, and the community. Like people don't really support you like that. They
Well,
go
here's the
like,
thing.
they say, "Oh, I see you doing that thing. Okay, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up." But that's about it.
Here's the thing. Stop telling everybody it's a black business.
It's a business.
It's a business. We don't have to put this black label on a business. You don't see white people saying, this is a white business. They don't say that. This is just the business.
No, I don't think it's because they're putting a black label on it. I think it's because everyone knows who's running it.
But here's the thing.
Nah, I think sometimes it is because you put that black label on
I
it.
run it. I would tell, see, because this is how I get black people. Because black people we love everybody else. Let me keep it a buck. I told somebody this with clothing, and I told somebody this with something else. Design something, set something up, especially like if you're doing clothes. Make a crazy European name up. Just make one up. Put it on your clothes. Market it as some European name. Wear it, up the price, and act like it's something exclusive.
Yo, I seen the jean company fly out the roof like that. They jacked when Red Monkeys was popping like that. You know, people was buying them Japanese jeans, them Chinese jeans. I seen somebody jack Red Monkey like that, flew out the building with it.
Because we have this illusion where if I spend more money on it, it's just higher quality.
Mm-hmm.
Gallery department is literally taking
Levi's
or whatever clothing line
Yeah.
they're getting from, whatever cloth that they're getting from Temu or whatever they're getting this from, whatever source they're getting from, taking some hand paint and a heat press or whatever, do a little rips here or some stitching here, and saying, "Yo, this shirt costs $350, fam."
You know what? So NYP Talk Show needs to create a Patreon where we do podcasts where we talk hella shit. Nobody can see it. Only if you go on the Patreon paying $100 or some shit like that.
Yo, you gotta think outside the box, B. Somebody will go for it.
But what I'm saying is, you do the same with your restaurants. Yo, bro, stop telling everybody. And can we stop making soul food spots? Make something else, bro. Make something else, because I don't want no more soul food in the hood. We making the same thing that's killing us. Stop. Make something else.
Nigga pop.
Stop.
I'm making
because most soul food spots.
Get some help.
Let's keep it a buck. Most soul food spots is trash. Let's keep it all the way 100. They trash.
Not the ones owned by Koreans.
If it ain't your grandmother's cooking, you really don't want it. Let's really keep it a buck.
The Koreans killing that, so they killing it on that soul food.
I don't want they soul food. I don't want they black American soul food. No.
The mayonnaise joint.
I don't want mayonnaise. I don't even eat mayonnaise. But I get it. But I don't want. What I'm saying is, in Harlem, we got soul food spots all over. I don't want no more soul food spots.
No, you know what's gonna be the new thing?
Soul food spots and seafood spots.
Yeah, yes. That's gonna be a steam spot.
Yeah,
like enough is enough. Like we need something else, something new, something innovative, something that's gonna. And stop telling everybody it's owned by black people. Let it pop first. And make the money it's supposed to make, then come out and say, yeah, this whole time it was owned by us.
Why? Clipping his tricks for black
people. I was trying to do that when I first started this shit, yo. I was trying to open up with a white guy.
Yeah.
I was trying to open up with a white guy, and it didn't happen, yo. So then I said, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go with Mike.
You open up the restaurant for some reason. Have a bunch of mixed employees. Got the white girl, got the little Asian girl, got the little black guy, this and that. So black people automatically think, ain't no niggas owning this. Cool.
That's wow, bro.
Nah. You know what though? Listen, I gotta back the point, right? Because of some places where you go and they say it's black owned, and you go and they expect you to accept the black attitude. They
Yes.
expect that. They wanna talk nasty, they want to make you wait, and they just expect you to be a part of that. Like they
And
just
we have to, and you got to make sure that your employees that you hiring gives excellent, beyond excellent customer service, because black
right.
people have a tendency to feel like they rude, they ain't doing this, I ain't going back in there. You give them excellent customer service, like they want some free salt, like they want some ketchups and sauces, and you come over there with the whole tray, like what you want.
Or look, or we go right to the first thing. Oh, you
Yeah.
treating me like that because I'm black. Go
Black,
right to the
yeah.
first thing. That's the first thing.
Look, say this. Before we get out of here, there's a restaurant that has that same motto, but it's white people. And when they deliver it, when they bring your food to the table, they literally throw the plate down. They drop it down. It's a white-owned restaurant, and they do that. Now, if white people came up with some shit called like nigger pies, I can guarantee you, it'd be
What's in those? What's in those?
owned by white people.
Yo, but you know what though? You know, Godfrey, he said something like, he said when you go to a Jamaican restaurant, if you know the food is good,
If they rude as hell,
they rude,
hell,
yo, they mad rude, yo.
It's fire when they rude, but I don't want to have to deal with that all the time.
I don't want to deal with that though. God, I don't want to. I'm not dealing with that. I ain't. But it's true though.
It's true.
I hate to say it, but
they ain't never got no beef
so
patties,
true.
and they only got stewed chicken and oxtails is going. If they fire, they over the top fire.
And all they got is the butter and cheese left.
The butter and cheese left, and they like, and you say, let me get a large stewed chicken, and they repeat your order. You want a large stewed chicken? Yes, a large stewed chicken. White rice or rice and peas. You want gravy on the rice? Yes, I want gravy on the rice. A lot of it.
Hey yo, if you listening, this New York at its finest, keep shooting, Clip.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got any beef patties? We don't have no more beef patties. It's like 12 in the afternoon. Like, what you mean you ain't got no more beef patties?
You got to wait 10 minutes.
You got to wait till tomorrow. What kind of soup you got? You only got grunga pea soup.
It's over.
Yo, on that note, we cutting out of here. That was a dope podcast. Next week, we're gonna be able to get into the logistics of music and.
Oh, let me tell you who came out though.
Okay.
Let me tell y'all who came out because we about to cut short. So I want to tell. So we got October London dropped his album, Fire Black R&B album, Death Row Records, Snoop's R&B artist.
Right.
Fire. Black London is October London is out of control. We got Onyx, Cold Case Files Volume 3. They dropped. We got Benny the Butcher and 38 Special Stabbed and Shot Part 2 drop. We got Summer Walker dropped a new single. Jennifer Hudson dropped Gift of Love.
Oh, nice.
Right? Ab Soul dropped a new single.
Okay.
Boosie Badass dropped Reloaded Side A. Saweetie dropped a single. Warren G dropped a new single. Glorilla dropped her album. Glorious.
Okay. I heard that's fine.
My boy G Perico dropped 2 singles.
Damn, he working.
G Perico be out here cooking. That's my guy. Tyler dropped her project. Love Tyler. Mary J. Blige dropped a new single.
Wow.
Okay.
Ice Cube dropped a new single on Friday. Just
oh yeah, I see the video for that. It's my ego or something like that, right?
Produced by EA Ski. EA Ski had the record that was on Friday when Big Worm sent them to shoot sent Dub C to shoot at Cube and Smokey. They the nigga that hard. That's EA Ski. He produced that.
Oh, that thing was crazy.
Little Dirk dropped the record.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for this week.
Tyler, the Creator, ain't come out with an album?
He dropped a single. Tyler the
Single.
Creator dropped a single,
I like
and
Tyler, yo.
Ari Lennox dropped a single. They dropped the DMX single. I'm not really. Oh, and Pharrell dropped that piece by piece soundtrack to his Lego movie, his Lego biography movie.
Shout out to Pharrell.
Oh, I'm taking my daughter to see that. I think that's gonna be
Salute to
cute,
Pharrell
yo.
for that. Salute to
And I
Pharrell for
got
that.
shout out to Pharrell.
So
Word. I think
that's
that's
the album
yo.
for
And
today.
then yeah, you finished, Clip?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Shout outs to Mikey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Mike.
You know what I'm saying? Hope your brother is doing good and all that. You know the family is with you. You know, he in our prayers and all that. Ron, you absolutely right about being more clear about things on the internet.
Right on.
You absolutely right about that. Hey, yo, Trev, you looking crazy cool back there. I meant to say that earlier. You look mad. You look mad.
Yo,
Relax. You look. You also look like peace right now.
around. So that's
Right
so we
on.
all praise Devon right there with that one. He said, "Yo, turn the phone around." I bet we're gonna keep it like this. So shout out to
Yeah. I like that, bro. You look cool, calm, and collected. And Clip, you know, you always letting it go. Thanks for always being informative. Thanks for informing me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
appreciate you, G's.
and,
I
and
do,
ignore the
G's.
shirt, even though it says Hollywood Jesus is black. We're not gonna get into that topic, but
Okay, yo, real quick. I thought it
Whenever
said
you ready
Jesus.
whenever you
Oh
ready.
man, oh man, he got on
I love
somebody else's
that type
shirt.
of talk. Whenever you ready, we can do that. I love it, bro.
This, it says Dear Hollywood Jesus is black because we know they always try to make a depiction of Jesus being white. So that's neither
Yeah,
here nor there. But
Whose shirt? That's your shirt?
this is a shirt that I got from my man's in Newark. But this is a whole nother topic that we'll get into later on because this right here is something else. That's something that me and Ron will talk about later because
I want to talk about it. Don't leave me out of that conversation. I want to talk about it.
this was created by European. This whole thing was created by Europeans, but that's neither here nor there. We get into that later.
Europeans know the history.
now, real quick. Now, Shawnee,
me out.
Shawnee, next week we're gonna let you run down the sports, but because you know we only got limited time.
Nah, so yo, listen, it's all good.
Right
Whenever, damn, whenever we could get back, whenever you know, I'm good. The conversation just be flowing so crazy that you know what I'm saying. And let it be organic. If it drop, it drop. But I got Knicks plus 5.5 though, so I hope they ain't getting cooked.
They lost by 23, fam.
Oh,
Game over. Game over. They lost.
He said the game over.
They lost.
What's up with the Minnesota game?
Come on at 10.
Oh, yo, and real quick before we cut out, Trev, I just need a word of wisdom from you, and then from me, you're gonna get this fitness tip. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of like, if you or anyone's paying attention, I'm like taking y'all through my journey of getting back in shape, right? So I've been working out like every day, practically running, lifting weights, and all types of shit, right? So now, but guess what? I've been eating somewhat good and somewhat bad, and I'm gonna let you know if you're really trying to get in shape, you gotta pick a master. Either you're gonna eat good or you're gonna eat bad.
What's considered eating bad?
Eating bad can depend. It could be
burgers, chips, snacks, and all types.
I'm gonna say burgers, chips, snacks, candies, fried foods. If you're really serious about getting in shape, I would say clean your diet, because if you eat clean the day before your workout is gonna set you up for the next day, like to perform really well. It's gonna help you perform well, running well. You're gonna feel good on the run. You're gonna feel good lifting weights. You're gonna have more energy, etc. So if you are planning on getting in shape, I would say it's diet and working out 50-50 together. So that's my tip.
I like that.
And to close it out, I'm gonna just say this. This is my message for the people, for the world. The future is unwritten. Okay, understand that your past has already been written. Your future is unwritten. So focus on your future and learn from your past. It's just that simple.
And this is not something vision.
That's fire.
This is Trevor vision.
With that being
Trev,
sponsored by Cool Ass Trav.
This message is
Jack,
been approved by the NYP Talk Show. Hey, yo, give him a sound effect, man.
I got next week. I got in the text.
Peace.
All right, peace.